Long ago, as far as the eye could see, moose, elk, and even lions covered the land. They gathered together in groups. They were social, after all. They grew in number, and they played euchre. But their numbers have been shrinking in recent generations. Lodges and clubhouses have closed in many places. Why? Well, some believe it's because fraternal organizations aren't as relevant to their communities as they once were. Except here in Starved Rock. Here, some groups are even more relevant than ever because they're more needed than ever, and they're busier than ever. One of them recently reached out to me, had me come over to visit them in Oglesby to share with me what they do and why. Hi, and thanks for joining me for another installment of Tom's Take. It's made possible by the generosity of my friend and project sponsor Kathleen Whalen of Whalen Financial in downtown LaSalle. Most of these weekly videos are local in focus because we know that you like to know what's going on locally. And Whalen Financial is a long-time local business. I encourage you to stop in and check them out. Kathleen and her team will have your back, just like they have mine. I'm talking to you today from the deck of News Director Jeremy Aiken. He is at the Bears game today. It's Saturday as I'm recording this, and it's the first game that 96.5 The Wolf is carrying on the Bears radio network. And so, of course, I jumped at the chance to come here because I get to hang out with my buddy Flash, probably the most well-known Basset Hound in the area. There's a Flash, the Basset Hound segment that Jeremy does every afternoon on WLPO. It's great. Hi, Flash. He was excited to see me, I assure you, a couple minutes ago. But he got a treat, and I think he's just kind of sleeping it off. My exposure to the Oglesby Elks started the way I'm guessing it started for a lot of us. I went to an event there, and I've been to several events since. But I also hear from them a lot at the radio station. Why? Well, because they always seem to have fundraising events coming up, or they've just contributed some funding to some organization in need. The Elks take the name and their mission seriously. Let me explain. You see the letters BPOE as associated with the Elks name. BPOE stands for Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks. The members of the Oglesby Elks are both benevolent and protective, and you're about to hear more. On a recent nice day just like this, Ken Ficek and Sam Sankovich stepped outside and told me more about the Oglesby Elks, and I think you're going to find it really cool.
I'm Sam Sankovich, and I'm the Exalted Ruler here, and I'm here with Ken.
I'm Ken Ficek, and I'm a past Exalted Ruler and also grant coordinator for the lodge.
When you say you're grant coordinator, that means you're out there trying to bring in revenue?
Bringing in grant money from the Elks National Foundation and also the Elks Central Organization to help whoever we can in the local area.
So tell me a little bit about locally the Elks Lodge, what you're all about. What do people need to know about you?
Well, if I can go back to 1966, that's when the Elks residents decided they were going to break away from the LaSalle Elks and form a lodge here in Oglesby. And at the time, you needed 100 members to form a lodge. And in the first go-around, they ended up with 225 members. And in that first year, we had 450 members of this particular lodge. We are the 100th lodge, the Centennial Lodge for the state of Illinois. And that was back in 1966 we petitioned. In 1967 we got our charter.
So you were able to quickly get a charter, it sounds like, because you had more than enough interest in it.
Two things. We had more than enough interest, and the Elks was always looking to open up new lodges. So it is a benevolent organization. It's called the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks. And the benevolent we really stress.
Tell me a little bit about that. What does that mean, for instance? Because we all see BPOE and know what it means now, but how are you benevolent and how are you protective? And what does that mean?
Well, by benevolent, of course, it means giving and supporting those things that we feel are really important for the community. Not only Oglesby, but LaSalle, Peru, Spring Valley, and we cover quite a district right now. In fact, the district, since the Princeton Lodge closed up, it includes our area all the way out to Princeton. So we have quite an area, and we're looking for people who need help. In particular, we have a couple of specific areas that we want to really do a lot of good, and that's in the area of children with special needs. We were able just recently, as a result of our own Children's Care Fund, to help out Lighted Way with their new building up on Airport Road, and to the tune of donating $70,000 to them for their new building.
It's a remarkable space. I did a Tom's Take on that when they were undergoing reconstruction, refurbishing of the building. It's an amazing space, and they told me that you all were involved in that. So that's an example of sort of the efforts you make?
That's probably the example of the biggest contribution we've ever made.
Yeah.
Most of our contributions come in the neighborhood of $2,000 to $5,000.
We recently actually gave $3,000 to the Oglesby Library as well for their new computer system. We donated money for their new firewall that they needed to keep kids safe
when they're online.
Right.
So we have a contribution coming up of $2,500 to the Illinois Valley Food Pantry to cover the entire cost of their Feed Our Children program for the month of August.
So what's interesting to me is that it's constant. You're always generating goodwill, it seems. You're always putting out an effort to help your communities. Does it extend beyond Oglesby, since you have a district that's much larger than it used to be?
It does. In fact, recently I have met with the superintendent of the Peru Public Schools to see how we could help them. So we do a lot of things outside of Oglesby, and that's, I think, one of the biggest things that I would like to see change, since we are really the only Elks club in the area now, within about a 20-mile radius at least, is for people to realize that it's not just Oglesby that we help. We help the whole Illinois Valley area, and just because you're in LaSalle or Peru doesn't mean you can't come to us if there's something you need, or if it's for something good. We're here to help.
We usually every year contribute to PADS, the homeless shelter. We've given a sizable donation to Horizon House. We've also helped pay for that van that the food pantry has. And one of the things that we really, really enjoy putting on every year is the 8th grade ball. And the 8th grade ball is for small schools. There are 12 small schools in the area that we invite to the lodge for an evening of fun. And we've been doing it for, I think, 35 or 40 years.
It's right around graduation time for 8th graders, correct?
It's usually the first or second weekend in May. And it brings together 8th graders that are going to be going to high school together, who maybe don't know each other very well, and it gives them an opportunity which is drug-free and adult-free to really, really enjoy themselves. And we are so happy to be able to put that on.
And this year was really special because we had missed a couple of years due to the COVID. And one of our members, Dustin Chan, put it on this year with his wife. And they just did an absolute terrific job. And he's a newer member of the Elks, but from what I have heard and what I know, he picked up right up from where it was, and he just made it a great evening for all the children.
You're part of the way through my recent chat with Ken Ficek and Sam Sankovich, who, as you can hear, are quite busy in the community. If you're listening to this on the radio or on the stream, you're only hearing the audio portion of the video that's posted to the Starved Rock Media YouTube channel and kept in a group called Tom's Take. You can see this and all the other videos we've posted this year up there. Now, back to it. The Oglesby Elks are very welcoming and nice guys, as you can tell by these two gentlemen. So give them a call at 815-883-8367, or stop one of them on the street and ask how you can learn more. And if you're wondering, no, you don't have to live in Oglesby to be an Oglesby Elk. Ken, in fact, says that they have a member in Florida, even. Back to it.
The Elks is not a bunch of old guys. We have some younger members now, and we're really excited to have them with us to enjoy and embrace their ideas, because we have our ideas and ours are 60 years old. And
Well, you can speak for yourself.
Well, you know what? I was going to ask that. Are you actively recruiting members?
Always.
What's involved in joining? What are the commitments involved?
Really, there's no commitment. When I came and spoke with Ken and our secretary, Pam Coffey, I said, what if I can't make a meeting? Well, it's no big deal. You're here, you're volunteering. So it's basically as much time as you want to give. We put on a lot of events. We've got bingo every Sunday. We are just bringing back the Queen of Hearts on Thursdays. All the help we can get is great. And we encourage our members to participate too. We're not just here to work it. If you want to play bingo, play bingo. If you want to participate in the Queen of Hearts, do it. There's a group of us who play euchre every Tuesday night.
there's a group that plays poker too.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you have an amazing facility here, and I've been here for benefits and other things, but I haven't been all the way through it once. All at once, and when you do that, you can sort of see how much space you have to do a lot of things here. You've got a 400 capacity event space. You have a lot of special things going on there.
Yeah, and if you include the lounge and the meeting room, you could probably stick another 100 people in there. But the fire marshal says 400 for that. For the Queen of Hearts to be open to the public, we have to have a charity in mind. And our charitable part here is the Children's Care Fund. So the money from the Queen of Hearts, the profit, goes into our Children's Care Fund. And that'll fund the Easter egg hunt, the 8th grade ball, the children's program, any contributions we make, for children with special needs especially.
The other thing that I would like to mention is that we don't just work with children, we also work a lot with veterans. I believe it was in May, we had a luncheon at Camp Arimony with about 10 veterans. It was a very nice opportunity to get to know them, and obviously they were very appreciative. And then we did our annual Flag Day there as well, that ceremony, which went really nice. I think we had about 40 or 50 veterans there.
I think benevolence is all encompassing. There's no age limitation on benevolence.
If you could give me one reason why each of you became an elk, what would that be?
I would say I wanted to give back to the community. I'm a graduate of LaSalle Peru Township High School. I left for 15 years, then I came back, and I really didn't know anybody at that point in time, and this was a good way for me to do some networking, get to know people, and also give back to the community and do something good. And anytime you can put a smile on someone's face, in my opinion, that's a good thing.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm one of the 10 remaining charter members of the Elks. I have 57 years in with the Elks right now, and I don't even remember how old I was when I was asked to join, but I think as a charter member, of course, I joined in 1966, and there was a big push for the Oglesby residents to start the lodge, and that's really the impetus for me to join. But then after that, when I found out what they did, I was so glad that I was able to do that, because it makes everybody feel so good, not only the recipients, but also the givers.
I really have to thank Ken and Sam. Great guys. I enjoyed our time together. Now, I'm not an elk, but I think I've seen enough to believe that you'll like them too. Would you like to be an elk? You want to help the Elks? Would you like to ask for help from the Elks? Call them or put the word out around town. So many people are members or know members that you'll get connected pretty quickly. You'll also get quick help if you reach out to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial in LaSalle. She covers this multimedia project, and I thank her again today for that. Now, don't forget, I'm always looking for things to post on the weekend. Is there an issue you want me to look into? Maybe someone you'd like me to meet, you'd like Star of Rock to know? An event coming up maybe, or just something on your mind? Well, I welcome your calls to the station at 815-223-3100. I'd like to talk to you. And on that note, I'll talk to you in the morning.